Come on now. All right, all right, all right. We are live. Coming to you from Kentucky, mother truckers. What's going on to everybody watching this on the replay? Just sitting here jamming to a little Fleetwood Mac. Still hear you say. All right. Who is first to join us? Ah, man. I need another Apple device. I was going to check the comments on the iPad, but I got this music jamming from the iPad. And, well, let's see. Derek Bowie, what's going on, man? You out trucking somewhere other than Abbeville today? Scooter and Wallify. Justin Graves has joined the party along with D-Man Guy Williams, Chris M, and Steven Golub. How you doing, my brother? Yeah, I'm out trucking. I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Anybody want to take a guess what American supercar has always been made since, I don't know, I think the late 50s in Bowling Green, Kentucky? Anyone? Man, my light is still green back here. And I've been here, it is getting close to 2 hours. I wasn't planning on doing this, but what can I say? I had the time. But I got a few things I can talk about. Chandler. Hopefully that won't pick up on the copyright for YouTube, but it probably will. But let's see. Working on Sunday. So like I mentioned, I'm in Bowling Green, and this is going to be going to Atlanta. It's live on both ends. So as long as this don't take insanely long, and I'm out of here within the next couple hours, Atlanta, it's like 300 miles away. 316 miles away. And I'm getting low on my 70, but I am close enough to get back to Greer. So if I had the choice to get back to my Chevy versus doing a 34-hour reset and some random truck stop, yeah. Now I'll do that when it's going to make a big difference. Oh, speaking of a big difference, well, I've been stringing, some like 3,000-mile weeks together. I think this week I just finished is only going to be like around 2,600 or so, because today's miles don't count. It's Sunday. It's a new week, so they're going towards the next one. But NFI gave, I think, all the GMP drivers anyway, that's been regional in Texas. Like I hadn't really talked to anybody else, or hadn't been an actual press release or anything. I just noticed it on my earnings statement that it was 4 cents more a mile than it has been, which was a pleasant surprise. So with like I think top pay here at GMP and regional, whether you're Texas or regional, which regional is what they need the most of now, it's 56 cents, which that's better than I've never been paid so high by the mile on all miles empty or loaded. So that's pretty good. And then regionally, the what's called the mileage bonus. I think it starts at 2,600 and you max it out somewhere around 3,000 or whatever, and it's extra 5 cents. What's that? 61 cents a mile on good weeks. Not too bad. But that's going on. But I know this is not a time that probably any of us are, too eager to jump ship and make job changes and, go without health insurance for a little while and all that. But if you're in a situation where you're already not at somewhere and need to get somewhere because your unemployment extra benefits has ended and it's time to get back to work, I can't even tell you how many openings NFI has. Like Texas and regional, that's what I've been a part of, but they have so many dedicated accounts. Like I left one earlier in Smyrna, Tennessee. That's a NFI Lowe's. And I think the place I'm going in Atlanta is a NFI facility. So, they've got all kind of positions, not just truck driver. That's only part of it at those kind of things. But there is a link in the description where you can like do an online application, and then if you do it that way versus just going to, the like search driver jobs or whatever, it's linked to yours truly. And if everything works out and you get started in a new gig, I think it's I don't know, 30 days later or something, they send Truckerjim a bonus, and those are always appreciated. I use it on new gear, such as, well, this isn't new, but this is my main camera that I really haven't been using lately. But I started filming something the other day, right? I was in Milford, Texas, I believe it is, and guys, there's a freaking Tesla tower out in the middle of Texas. It's on I-35 east between like Waco and Dallas and that part of the country. But there's a freaking Tesla tower. Y'all know what a Tesla tower is? Nikola Tesla. He invented, well, he's the guy that came up with AC/DC, not the Australian rock band, but the way, like our 110 stuff plugs in to walls. It's powered from power lines that, I don't know, they go somewhere where there's a whole lot more power. Before that, I think it was not Ed, was it Edison that was involved with it, but they were just using direct current back then, which had to be kind of close to, the, I'm not using the right terminology, but the main power source as far as where it comes. So it worked good in cities, but out in rural areas, it didn't. But Nikola Tesla, said, well, alternating current, because, it can travel through wire and not, lose as much as the other did or something. Well, anyway, his other invention, which after a little while, it did not get support because they were like, how are we going to make a whole bunch of money off of people if they're getting free energy? Right? No, he developed something that was what he called free energy, tapping into the ether, and it broadcast from one of these Tesla towers. And I don't know, say if this didn't have batteries in it, or my tornado fan up here didn't plug into the 12 volt, it would have something inside that would receive through the air wirelessly the energy it needed to operate. Well, anyway, there's one of these out in Texas. Now, my cell phone didn't start charging by itself or anything, to the best of my knowledge, as I got close. I don't know the whole story of what's going on in Milford, Texas, as far as this Tesla tower out there. But anyway, I pulled over on the side of the road and I got my drone out of my, this is my new camera bag right here, right? And I can go into it from the side. And when I do, here's my drone. And here's the remote. Real easy to get to. Batteries and stuff are in there. Very cool bag. But the same thing happened that the last time I tried to fly my drone at the Lake Charles Bridge, and got, the footage looked cool or whatever, but I was disappointed because I planned on it looking a whole lot cooler because I was going to get closer. It happened again, guys. I had the Tesla tower in the view of my, I'm seeing it on my phone, but the drone's seeing it, and then it just wouldn't go any closer. So I've got to take the time to get the drone out and go through the app and all the settings, and make sure I'm up to date on the software and all of that. And I hadn't done it yet. And I'm not going to do it right now either because I'm talking to you guys and it's raining outside. But yeah, I was starting to make a video and then it kind of just went south because the main reason I was doing it to get some up close, footage of a Tesla tower in Texas. I hadn't even looked at the footage yet. I mean, you can see it in it, but it's not close. Yeah. So I'm hauling around camera gear that I'm not currently using. Let's see, Drove problems last. Okay, drone problems. Okay. Told you guys about NFI gave us all a raise. That's cool. But I don't know. I really don't watch the NFI's videos and things unless I had something to do with making it. That's probably wrong, isn't it? But hey, everybody can't watch everything. Thinking video. Ah, but speaking, since I've got gear, and the next thing on my list is I've about got myself talked into spending $1,800 on an iPad Pro with a Magic Keyboard and an Apple Pencil. Yeah, but I need to do more than play with it and watch Netflix videos or YouTube videos on. This is a pro tool. But I've mentioned this before, but I have a pretty diverse background. Now I know a lot of truckers out here. That's all they've ever done. Like they've turned 18 or 20 or one or whatever it was, and they've been trucking ever since. No, I guess I was 40, but before I got a CDL, 39, 40, something like that. And a lot of things, prior to that, for 20 years of it, more geared towards sales, marketing, insurance, that kind of stuff, but all kind of stuff before that. But it's been over 40 of them. And I got in my head that number one, I think it could be interesting and entertaining. Number two, it could be a journey of, I don't know, self discovery or self remind. I don't know. I could see some benefit in myself as far as, I don't know, tracking just my development and progress over the course of time. There'd be a planning stage, which is where a lot of that would happen, but then the recording of it. Because even though I just got a raise and I mean, like now, realistically, if things go perfect as a company driver, you can gross 2 grand. Now, the bring home, I really don't talk about that because that ain't, because everybody's bring home is different. A married person compared to a single person, just taxes, alone. But then, maybe there's a shift of the health insurance if it's the other way. And then, like myself, for instance, $242 a week of child support, well, that takes off $242, from the bring home. So, I usually just say gross because that's what it is. Um, but can realistically, on weeks that things go great, make 2 grand. Before, you get over 1,800, you're doing good. 1,600, you can pretty much bank on that if you work steady. And then there's you don't work a full week and work your 70. That's what is required to. Well, now 2 grand. Before it was like 1,800, but the little raise adds up. But even though, and all that's good, those are positive things, you know, and well, just being able to do that kind of shows the steadiness and reliability of the company and the accounts that they have. But even though all those things are positive, I think I only got about a month and a half left of it personally. But let's go to the comments and see what's going on with all you guys. And since we're not jamming now, I can do that from the iPad and not have to lean all forward, straining to check them. Dual monitors are good, and that's one thing the iPad will give me. If when I'm set up at a desk with the Mac, I have a second monitor. Okay, we want to turn this volume down. You're the guy that I saw at a truck show a couple of years ago. Yeah, I guess it has been a couple of years since I've been to a truck show. I've been to the one in Louisville, which I'm not very far from right now. I'm in Bowling Green a couple of times. And the Dallas one, I hung out the night before. I didn't really make it to the truck show. I don't know why I took these off, because I kind of need them to read. Fort Wayne, Indiana here. What's up, Scooter? I've been to Fort Wayne. Let's talk about noodling. You guys want to talk about noodling? Now, we didn't call it noodling when I was growing up. We called it grabbling. I'm not sure how you spell it, if it's grabbling or grabbling. But about this time of year, this is really the beginning of the season right now, as it starts getting warm, in like mid-May or so. And this goes strong till probably through July. But the flathead catfish, now other fish probably do this too, but flathead catfish start swimming upstream from the lakes. And this lake is Clark's Hill. Well, actually, it's called Lake Thurman now, but for years it was called Clark's Hill. Little River is one of these. There's several different spots, but when it's, I guess, the spawning season, when the catfish are, wanting to get together and lay eggs and, all that, they swim upstream to do that in the rivers. And these catfish, they get big. They get like, you catch a catfish like this on a rod and reel, that's a heck of a fight. Well, these get bigger than that. Like probably an average size, I would say, is like a 30-pounder. And the way we would catch them is with our hands. Would go to where spots that they're wanting to nest in bed, which can be like cracks and rocks for smaller ones. But the bigger catfish, like in the banks along the rivers, and these would be in rivers that's not generally not very deep, not over your head towards the edge anyway. And they'll make holes in the mud, either mud them out, root them out, or in like tree roots and things like that. Well, we would go there, and there was a lot of technique, but reach in there and catch the fish and pull him out and put him on a rope. Now, anybody that's messed around with catfish before, like little catfish anyway, people always worry about their fins, that they're pointy, they'll stick you and they'll draw blood. On the bigger ones, that's not so much an issue, but like they're not so much teeth, but at the opening of their mouth, it feels like a very coarse sandpaper, and it will absolutely yank the skin off of your hands or your feet or whatever it gets, especially if it grabs on and it moves, which a big thing those catfish do will roll, and it'll take the skin right off of you. But that's grabbling, noodling, the basic 101. And I know I left some gaps there for questions if y'all would like to go into more detail on that. But that's noodling. And we got Long Dong Don Slonger. I think I got gypped because I only received 2 cents for the Northeast. Where they pay 2 cents more when you go to the Northeast versus anywhere else in the country. I tell you, the Northeast is probably the last place I want to go, out of all of them. I don't know if that's justified or why I feel that way, but I think I decided that back in the U.S. Express days and haven't been back since. We got James Smith. Wow, just seen some nice stuff for a fridge shelf at the bed, bath, and beyond. They're remodeling and getting rid of stuff. Look for a dumpster near you. Man, I need a shelf for my refrigerator. I didn't even think of dumpster diving to find one. Chase America, what's going on, guys? And Sam Sullivan, the DJI Mini 2. You mean DJI? DJI Mini 2? Yeah, maybe I'll get a new drone one day. I've had this one for years, crashed it a few times, and I don't know, it's kind of old. I got to give it some attention here in a little bit. It has not been fulfilling my needs the last couple time having this low range, but that's probably something with uh, I don't know. I feel like I can probably get it going right. Sling blade, I reckon. What's going on, Trucker Jim? Mm-hmm. How you doing? And fried taters. Finger junk cover. Do you shave your legs? You do. I do not shave my legs, but years ago, a couple decades ago, more than a couple decades ago, I had a period of time where I did shave my legs. It's, I don't know. I was working out a lot, but now I doubt that's something I will do again. Nope, it's too much wires in the dash. Okay, y'all. Uh, Rolling through South Carolina, head to Sarasota, Florida. I don't know. Derek Bowie's giving some kind of instructions in the comments. Um, did I miss a? Seems like I saw a glance or somebody typed something about. Well, maybe not. All right, so I'm caught up with the comments, and ah, the fuel shortage. Has anybody got any stories on that? I haven't had any issues whatsoever getting fuel this week. None whatsoever. However, I have been fueling more often. I don't really let myself get really below half a tank when I start a shift. If I started at a Pilot or a Love's or something like that, which I don't always, but I often do, I go ahead and fill up during my, that's my pre-trip is fueling up like I'm full of fuel now, but haven't noticed any kind of slowdown at all. I'll just see posts on Facebook or on the news about, you know, somebody out of fuel. Where will I do my reset? Well, I was prepared to do a reset on the road. So, string a few, 3,000 plus mile weeks together. But I'm delivering this in Atlanta, which I should be able to finish this trip today. But they haven't even started loading me here yet. So who knows? But it said on the paper it'll take 2 hours, but we're over 2 hours now. But I've got a number to call, so as soon as we finish this, I will do that, and then I'll drive 300 miles to Atlanta. So yeah, I should be able to finish that today as long as this just doesn't take insanely long, and I will have about 6 hours of clock or so in Atlanta. So I'm thinking it kind of makes sense maybe to just get something, go back to Greer and get my Chevy and, do my reset in upstate South Carolina. What you guys think? The only advantage to not doing that, it would more than likely, well, they would either tell me to start it in Atlanta, which I would be like, let me get something going back to Greer because I got the time and do it there, or go ahead and get under something headed back to Texas that I guess isn't urgent, do a reset. And the advantage on that, when resets up, boom, it's time to just hit the road. And you don't, you know, that's it. You just hit the road and get started. You don't have any of that empty trailer hunting or picking up this load or dealing with, morning traffic or any of that kind of stuff. You just get rolling, and that is a way to start a good week. Um, I think I've covered everything on my list, guys. Do I have anything new to show you guys? I did have a cord buddy. Well, I still have a cord buddy, but I broke the damn thing. Yeah, Where is it? Yeah, that's a cord, buddy. It was a cord, buddy. But I don't know. The other end like this, it broke off as I was tightening it. So I have been refunded. No, wait a minute. Not refunded. They're gonna send me another one, and I have to send the broken one back. Yeah. I started to just do a refund instead of a bring me another one. See, I've got these cords down, but they're not real cords because I'm not doing my pinky on these strings. Well, I'm gonna call to see what's going on with this load because they need to do something so I can get rolling. But it's Sunday. Hope everybody enjoys your weekend if you're watching this live or later today. And I'm thinking I will be off Monday. Just the question is, will it be at a truck stop or will it be in upstate South Carolina? I kind of hope it's in upstate South Carolina. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you next time. But until then, be safe out there and keep on trucking.